Beth comes from London to Croatia for a weekend to visit her best friend, whose house she gets to with the help of a local cab driver, Zane. The man leaves his card for the lady in case she needs a cab. Kate's friend has rented a luxurious apartment for their meeting on her ex-husband's credit card. The ladies drink champagne, and Beth gives Kate a black onyx necklace she bought online. One bead immediately falls off the necklace. After socializing with her husband, Rob, who stayed in London with their young daughter, the girls go out partying. On the way out of the house, they met the owner of Kate's apartment, Sebastian. At the restaurant, Kate reveals that she is now using the credit card of her ex-husband, Jay, whom she caught cheating on her, and now she is having fun with other men. Beth says that she and her husband are having a difficult relationship right now, and they haven't had a night out in the room in a year. Suddenly it turns out that Kate's ex-husband has blocked the credit card after all, and Beth is paying the bill herself. Kate suggests they continue on to the bar, where they should definitely get some boyfriends. Zane drives the girls to the bar. The man says that this is where he fled from the war in Syria, to which Beth replies that she once helped Syrian refugees. At the bar, the friends do meet a couple of handsome men who treat the girls to cocktails. After socializing, Kate suggests that everyone continue this party at her apartment. Beth wakes up the next day at lunchtime with memory loss. She sees signs of a party in the apartment, but she can't find her friend, and Kate's phone is not answered. Rob asks his wife if they had a fight the night before, and says that since they're not in a fight, her friend will probably show up soon. Beth goes to see Sebastian, but the man hasn't seen Kate either. However, he reminds her that, according to the rules, it's illegal to bring guys into the apartment overnight, so the lady will have to pay a fine. The lady turns to the police, but Detective Pavic informs that they will deal with the missing person only in 24 hours, as the promiscuous friend will probably show up herself. Then Beth calls Zane. The lady tells about Kate's disappearance, and asks the man to bring her to the bar where they sat yesterday. When she arrives, she unsuccessfully tries to find out something from the bartender, until the cab driver unexpectedly helps her. So the girl finds out that those two guys were local escorts, named Matteo and Luke. And it seems they were hired by her friend at the bar. At night, Beth calls her husband and warns him that she'll be in Croatia for a couple of days, as she needs to deal with her friend's disappearance. Later, Beth finds the men through social media and informs Zane. A cab driver, disguised as a customer, arranges a meeting for the men at a cafe, where during the conversation it turns out that it was Kate who introduced Beth to Rob. When Matteo and Luke appear, the men recognize the girl, and immediately rush to duck. One of the fugitives is caught up with Zane. The man tells them that they parted with Kate, who hired them, at 3 a.m., taking her purse, which the accomplices pawned at a pawnshop, and never saw her again. Beth picks up her friend's purse with a dead cell phone and goes to the police with it. Outside the police station, Zane asks not to be mentioned so he doesn't get in trouble with his visa. Detective Kovacs is surprised to learn that her colleague, Pavic, failed to take a missing girl's report the day before and takes on the case. She sends Beth for a medical examination to make sure the girl has not been drugged. The girl calls Kate's ex-husband, Jay. But the man reports that he hasn't communicated with Kate for 2 weeks. It turns out that in the restaurant the lady was arguing on the phone with someone else, not with Jay. Also, Jay says that such a sudden disappearance is quite in Kate's spirit, so there is no reason to worry. When the girl returns to the apartment, she learns that her lease has expired and new tenants will soon move in. However, Sebastian offers her to stay in his other apartment until she finds her friend. At night, Beth is about to go on another search for Kate with Zane. However, her husband suddenly arrives at her house, saying he left his daughter at home with the nanny. The cabbie drives off, and Rob berates his wife for going to get in the car, possibly to her friend's potential kidnapper. But when Beth's nerves give out, her husband comforts her. Soon the spouses learn that Kate has been found. The girl's body was found in the water. However, it is impossible to understand what really happened to her without an autopsy. Beth stays in the city to wait for the results of the autopsy, and her husband returns to London. In the evening, the girl asks Pavic to take her to the morgue to say goodbye to Kate. When she is alone with her, she unlocks smartphone with the help of her friend's face. From the phone, she unexpectedly learns that Kate was arguing on the phone with Rob at the restaurant. Also in the smartphone turns out to be a love correspondence between Beth's husband and Kate, in which the lady insisted that Rob leave his wife. The next news is that the same drug was found in the blood of both girls, and at the time of the murder, Mateo and Luke have an ironclad alibi. Visitors to the bar saw the two girls arguing. Although Beth recalls that they quarreled about continuing the party in the apartment with two guys. But she becomes one of the prime suspects. The girl tells Zane everything and guesses that Kate could have drugged her to provoke her friend's infidelity, after which her husband would leave her. During Rob's call, Beth tells him that she knows everything about her and Kate, and the man has to confess everything. In the morning, Beth is suddenly arrested, and a photo of her and Zane is shown at the police station. It turns out that the cab driver is connected with the Albanian mafia, which is engaged in human trafficking. Therefore, the investigation suggests that the girl hired the Syrian to kill a friend who is her husband's mistress. Beth is rescued from custody by a lawyer, but he immediately says that it is only temporary, as the police simply do not have enough evidence against the suspect yet. When the girl returns to the apartment, she finds Zane in it, who, according to him, was let in by Sebastian. The man tells her that in Syria, as a doctor, he saved the life of an Albanian boy, and his father, in gratitude, helped Zane to illegally move to Croatia, and this is the end of his connection with the Albanian mafia. Left alone, Beth begins to wonder how the police found out about her husband's cheating, which she didn't tell them about. Suddenly, the girl discovers a hidden camera in the mirror of her room, which must have recorded her conversation with Rob. Beth recalls seeing Pavic together with Sebastian. The girl is in the kitchen stealing a landlord's key to his apartment. There, Beth finds a studio with cameras with which the man used to monitor his tenants. Beth reviews the tape of Friday, and from it learns that after returning from the bar she was just put to bed, after which Kate and the men moved to the hot tub on the balcony. And when Kate went to the bathroom, the men stole her purse and fled the apartment. The girl noticed the disappearance, ran out into the street and went in pursuit of the crooks in a taxicab. Kate came back in another car with a bumper sticker. Suddenly Sebastian returns, and Beth tries to escape. The man excuses himself that he installed the cameras for security purposes, and at the same time starts erasing all the recordings. The girl stops him and later breaks out of the apartment. On the street she meets Zane, to whom she explains that her landlord secretly watched the tenants, but erased all the tapes, and now she may be charged with assaulting the man. With the license plate number recorded by Beth from the camera, the couple arrives at the taxi stand, where TV is already reporting that the girl is wanted. They meet the driver who took Kate after the fugitives, who informs that he only took the girl to the police station. Suddenly the police appear, summoned by the cab boss, including Pavic, on whose car Beth recognizes the sticker. The police go after the couple in pursuit. After breaking away from the pursuit, the girl talks about the detective's car, which may have something to do with Kate's murder. Zane decides to distract the cops on himself, but it doesn't work and Pavic continues to pursue the girl. The detective traps the girl on the roof of a building. Beth screams that he killed her friend because he probably wanted to spend the night with her, but she turned him down. The cop responds by saying that Kate is a cheap chick. But when Kovacs shows up, the man accidentally falls. In the morning, Kovacs reports that they were able to recover part of Sebastian's tape and look at some street camera footage. From the video, the detective concluded that Pavic really wanted to court the girl after she reported her bag missing. However, after being rebuffed by the beauty, the man injured the girl's head and threw her into the water. To Beth's surprise, the detective explains that her colleague, Pavic, used to work for the vice police, where detainees sometimes complained about his harassment, but all of them withdrew their complaints. Beth says goodbye to Zane and thanks him for his help. The girl returns to London, where, after her divorce from her husband, she allows him to see her daughter sometimes. On one such day, the girl asks Rob to return the car keys, and the man asks to look for them in his jacket pocket. In the pocket, suddenly Beth discovers a stone that fell out of Kate's necklace, given to her in Croatia. The girl goes to the bathroom and dials Kovacs, but is interrupted by her ex-husband. Beth immediately accuses the man of Kate's murder, and shows the stone from the necklace. Rob has to tell how he was afraid his wife would find out about their relationship, and he flew to his mistress at night to ask her to remain silent. As we know, Kate did demand Rob to leave his wife, but only because the one-time affair made the man obsessed with her and demanded constant meetings, and Kate did not want such a husband for her best friend. During the argument, the man pushed Kate, causing her to hit her head on a rock and roll into the water. Now Rob asks his ex-wife not to turn him in to the police, making the excuse that it was an accident. But Beth shows him the phone, in which Kovacs says she's recorded everything and has already called the police. Eventually Beth fights off Rob's attempts to stop her and leaves his apartment with the baby at the sound of police cars approaching the house. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.